The first point I wish to make, Mr. Speaker, is that we are going to institutionalize the Coroner's Court as a separate court, distinct from a magistrate's court. In doing so, Mr. Speaker, we are in reality to put a proper legal footing upon a reform which we undertook by policy while we were the government in the 90s. Because by policy, we established a separate Coroner's Court. It was provided over by a magistrate whose primary responsibility was to discharge the duties of a coroner. Members will recall the late Winston Saunders, for many years, discharged the duties of coroner in premises situated at the E.D. Sassoon building on Parliament and Shirley Street, now the Rodney Bain building. When we established the Coroner's Court in 1993, the expressed intention was that every unexplained or sudden death in the Bahamas would be referred to that court for an inquiry, and if necessary, for a prompt inquest. So the cause of any suspicious death would be independently determined. We also, Mr. Speaker, amended the law to make sure the coroner's inquest must be held in public, because before that time they were held in secret. Prior to 1993, Mr. Speaker, there was an enormous backlog of unexplained deaths awaiting the attention of magistrates throughout the Bahamas, because every magistrate, every circuit and stipendiary magistrate was a coroner by law. So when we came to office, we found an enormous backlog of unexplained deaths awaiting the attention of magistrates throughout the Bahamas who were already far too busy performing their normal functions to take any extra time to investigate unexplained deaths. The separate court, Mr. Speaker, established by the F&M while we were in office, was discontinued while we were out of office. In 2006, the year before we came back to office, when that side was in office, I had occasion to comment on the state of the Coroner's Court in relation to the death of one Anna Nicole Smith, son. I recalled at that time, Mr. Speaker, the system of having a specialized Coroner's Court and how well it had worked over the 13 years it had been in existence. It was abolished in 2006, following upon the Anna Nicole Smith's son's death. At that time, I reiterated, Mr. Speaker, my party's belief that there was a need for an efficient system to investigate sudden or suspicious deaths, a matter of grave importance to bereaved members of the family, deceased persons, and to the peace and good order of the Bahamas. At that time, I also committed to the Speaker that when the F&M returned to office, we put in place a Coroner's Court to constitute a specialty Coroner's Court, so that all unexplained deaths will be promptly and efficiently investigated, as had been the case while we were in office in 1993. By this bill, therefore, Mr. Speaker, we are putting the legal footing to this separate and distinct court, whose name will be the Coroner's Court, separate and distinct from a magistrate's court. And the court will be established by law. It will not be capable of being abolished by any Chief Justice or any minister in the future. The Parliament of the Bahamas will, by law, establish the court.